Randall Crowder, CEO of Phunware, PHUN. I've made him wait. Actually, this is your fault. You made him wait. No, it's my fault. I made him wait. Randall Crowder, how are we doing today? Welcome to the Power Hour.
Doing well. I don't mind waiting. I'll tell you, I did not cancel, even though I tore my entire pec off my shoulder. That's how much I wanted to be here.
Wait. No. Come pull it back up. I want to see that again. Just show me.
Yeah. So the next time you have somebody give you an excuse for not showing up for their company or Benzinga, you remind them that I came here no matter what. I probably have to have surgery in a day or two, but you know what, Spencer? This was not to be missed.
That looks so bad.
Now, your people who have seen me talk are probably going to love this because I talk with my hands. So now you're going to see one hand moving, but the other one's going to kind of stay here by my side a little bit because I can't really engage that one.
I don't even want to know how that happened. Oh my gosh, that sounds terrible. Yes, Jason Schlubnell is asking, how is your arm even moving right now? It's a great question.
You know what? I've been through worse. It was sad to say, but you know, when you're in the Army and you do some crazy things, you always have a great comparison other. So you know what? Hey, being an entrepreneur, being a public company CEO, this is the easy stuff. No one's shooting at me. So hey,
okay,
let's dirt on it.
Let's talk about the news this morning. The deal with Cox Communications. Tell us about that.
Yeah, no. So anybody that doesn't know our story, it's real easy. Contextual engagement. That's what we do. So we are building a mobile platform to enable people to get the right content to the right person on the right device at the right time in the right place. So that's contextual engagement. For anybody who is not too young, it's Minority Report. So it's literally what Tom Cruise was doing in Minority Report. Yeah. That's what we do. So really interesting vertical for us is healthcare. And we don't want to create a big direct sales force. So rather than chasing revenue for the last 18 months, we've been chasing partnerships so that revenue will chase us. So Cox is huge. I mean, anybody that doesn't know that name, Google them, you know, over $20 billion in revenue, massive company. We've been working on this deal for a long time. They have Cox Business, which is a managed IT cloud services. And healthcare is a huge focus for them. And that's a huge focus for us. How do we demystify healthcare? How do we use a mobile device to give clinicians and patients a better experience and demystify the continuum of care? And so we've partnered with Cox to be able to license our software to them to build out a more robust solution. That's the name of the game. That's how we scale as a company. Not going out there and selling ends of one, but we want to become Microsoft Office. You know, how do we sell the phone company and the computer company so that every time they sell a phone or a computer, Microsoft Office is already on there, preloaded? That's what we're doing. That's the idea behind these partnerships with Cox and the partnership that we did with carriers. So this is really exciting for us. They're a massive player in kind of, you know, not only healthcare, but, you know, K through 12, federal, you know, they have a massive kind of IT cloud services value proposition, doing a whole lot of really exciting things. And so we're going to start in healthcare and then see where we go from there. But it's really exciting for us to be able to announce this partnership.
So out of curiosity, you said you've been working on this for a while. How long is the best of your ability? Like, how long is the sales cycle? I mean, you're still early days, obviously, but how? It sounds like it's a long sales cycle.
It's a great question. And that's what we spent the pandemic doing. So you're talking, you know, to establish, you know, to do a normal sale for us when we're selling kind of direct or, you know, kind of co-selling with a partner, it's a 3 to 6 month sales cycle for kind of our out of the box solutions. If it's a little bit more complex, we're talking maybe a 6 to 12 month sales cycle. For these kind of partnerships, as you can imagine, you know, a company doing $20 billion in revenue plus, that's a big ship to steer. There's a lot of consensus that you have to build. So that's more like a 12 to 18 month, you know, sales cycle, getting everything dialed in, you know, really making sure that everybody's on board. How are we going to sell it? How are we going to collaborate? What's our go-to-market strategy? And so I think this is where the market misprices Phunware. You know, they're really looking at just, you know, what are we doing kind of quarter over quarter? And that's not really what our focus has been. Our focus has been, how do we establish ourselves as an Atlassian? How do we establish ourselves as a Twilio? How do we get indirect channel partnerships signed and activated so that their sales forces can sell our stuff? They've already got the customers. They've already got, you know, whether it's hardware, software, or IT solutions, they've already got these massive customers all over the world. We want to sell through their channel. That's how we scale quickly. And so if anybody's looking for kind of KPIs on Phunware, I would argue it's not revenue. It should be customer announcements, partnership announcements. Then it'll be kind of bookings, deferred revenue, and then we recognize that revenue over the lifetime of contracts. But since we're signing, we're signing multi-million-dollar contracts, but they're 3 to 5 year terms. Remember, we're a SaaS company, so you're not going to see these massive revenue spikes. But when these channel partnerships start activating and really start going, sky's the limit. We'll see how good their sales teams really are, but the value proposition is there.
You kind of answered my next question, which was how long are these contracts? Typically, whenever we've seen, for example, in Workday, a couple months ago, these enterprise SaaS deals are so big, and Workday or Amazon, one of the two, announced, I think it was Amazon, we're not using Workday's platform anymore, and Workday's stock on that day, and Workday was like, this is not even new news for this we knew this 6 months ago, but it just goes to show
on us. What the hell,
right? It just goes to show the premium that Wall Street places on these large enterprise SaaS contracts, right? So you sort of said it before with the 3 to 4 year terms, but is that going to be standard for you?
Yeah, absolutely. And you think about it, it kind of makes sense. So as we think about this healthcare solution, so for Cox, it's called ProSite. So they want to basically transform healthcare operations. And so this becomes really sticky because you're literally standardizing your entire operational flow on these platforms. It's not something you just turn off, especially in healthcare. But we're industry agnostic, but really in healthcare, it's so sticky. And the part of Phunware that a lot of people don't fully realize is we're not just building better mobile applications. Our location layer that allows you to engage mobile devices contextually, that's proprietary, and that's world-class. So sub 1 meter accuracy, sub 1 second latency, indoor positioning, that turns on all these really rich features, and it's really hard to turn it off. It's really hard to pull it out. So this isn't just a productivity suite like Workday. This isn't just a scheduling thing. We're going to bet our operations on this deployment. And so if we're going to do that, we're going to do this 3 to 5 year contract, and it's very hard to unwind. So we love, kind of what this looks like from a retention standpoint. And we love that our customers are willing to sign that long of contracts, because it really shows that they believe in what this software can do for them.
So what is the market not seeing here, right? Shares of PHUN are under $1. What is the market not seeing?
I think it's not necessarily not what they're not seeing, it's what they are seeing. And so, I think they, right, wrong, or indifferent, the markets are how the markets are. It's our job to execute. It's our job to get in front of more people. I think where we failed as a company going into being public, we didn't have any real partners. We didn't have a bank take us out. We merged with a SPAC. We didn't raise any money merging with a SPAC. We got about $400,000, which is if you zoom back out to 2018, it's this absurd short squeeze. We were GameStop before GameStop was GameStop. So some people made a lot of money just with this crazy short squeeze. But the reality is, I think that created a lot of noise. Going out of that, we didn't raise any money until 2020. And then we didn't really raise real money until this past February. We had Roth and Northland put together, they joint book ran a deal for us. That's the first time we've really played the public game, have real institutional investors that can initiate coverage. Roth has initiated, hopefully Northland will here soon. But I think a lot of people just don't know our story from an institutional standpoint. And they see some of the noise and the volatility in the stock, and that might give them some pause. But once people begin to realize that we are not just a better mobile application development firm, we are software that is being sold indirect through large technology partners like Carrier and like Cox and a few more that we still have to announce. We already said in our earnings report, we have 2 more major partnerships to announce. That's how we sell this. That's how we begin to scale. So right now, we got to prove it, right? We can't keep saying it's valuable. We need to start showing what these partnerships look like, how they get activated. And then along the way, we could actually have some interesting revenue movement from our PHUN token sales. So we do have a cryptocurrency play. It's, PHUN token. And that functions like a utility token. It's live. You can download PHUN Wallet. You can go to buy.phuntoken.com, buy PHUN token. It's a live ecosystem. And so every time we sell that shows up as revenue as well. And I think a lot of people aren't factoring in what we might be able to scale our revenue through cryptocurrency sales, and then how we scale our revenue through indirect channel partnerships like Cox.
It's interesting because you mentioned, the SPAC. You guys were were and the SPAC train before SPACs were cool.
Before SPACs were cool.
Back when I had honestly thought that they were referred to as just blank check companies, because that's what they were called. And I guess I missed the memo when blank check became not cool anymore and SPAC became like the cool word to use. But
our blank check didn't cash. So
there you go. But you bring up a really interesting point. It applies to SPACs. It applies to direct listings. Love it or hate the traditional IPO process. When you IPO traditionally and you're raising money, you have built-in defenders on Wall Street defending your stock, publicizing your stock, and that's just how it is. And if you're doing a direct listing, if you're doing a SPAC, you ain't getting that.
People they do not appreciate this. We all want to live in this, and we're doing it. From a blockchain perspective, we love this idea of decentralization. We love this idea of control, and consumers are going to eat the world, and go Robinhood and go GameStop. The reality is the game has been the game for a very long time, and it protects itself. And from brokers to institutions to FINRA to the SEC, there is a game being played, and you are rolling the dice. If you don't, I always say, we didn't have any, we didn't gang up in the prison yard and we're just trying not to get shanked. Literally we had nobody protecting us or protecting our stock. Now flip that, because I'm a glass half full kind of guy. I look at it like, I can't believe the value of Phunware right now. We haven't been valued this low since like our Series B in 2012. So if I'm a net new investor, I have a company whose technology is light years more advanced than it was back then. We were doing digital agency, low margin, non-recurring revenue, and we were just chasing portfolios. So we did the first NFL app, the first NASCAR app. We built and maintained most of Fox's mobile application portfolio, Sochi Olympics, CW, WWE. I mean, we did a lot in the passion verticals. Well, we took all that institutionalized knowledge and we built a platform that could be sold as SaaS. That's what we're doing now, and that's way more valuable than what we were doing then. So I look at it like Phunware at $65 million market cap. We went out at 300 million. This is a great entry point for net new customers. It's a binary decision at this point. You're either deciding that I don't want to invest in this because I think they're going to go away. Somehow the last 12 years was a fluke and they're going to die within 12 months. Hint, we're not. Or I think this is a really great entry point. It's only up from here. And we had great volume and liquidity in our stock. I mean, we've been top, gainer in volume and appreciation multiple times based on, less interesting news than this Cox deal. I think people love ticker symbols. They don't realize that as a private company, Cox is larger than, most public companies. And so I think that the market will figure itself out. They'll begin to understand that this will become table stakes. You can't have a mobile application anymore. You have to actually use a mobile device as a location-aware computer and engage consumers through it. And really, healthcare, corporations looking to return to the workplace, hospitality, resorts, hotels. You should be able to walk into a hotel and have your keys sent directly to your phone. Why wait at a desk? You should be able to order food or drink from your phone rather than craning your neck looking for someone to bring you a drink while you're playing, craps or blackjack. And if you leave, they should just find you. You should be able to introduce infomercial-like capability in a retail setting so that you can engage somebody and tell them what the product actually does right then and there. So all of this marriage of data and opportunity, nowhere is it more relevant than, delivering care. But really, any industry, this is going to become table stakes, and we're really well positioned to dominate kind of the onslaught of smart buildings. So that's what Carrier wants to do. They want to be a dominating player in the healthy building space, and to make those healthy buildings smart. That's why they license our software.
And yeah, if anyone watching doesn't know Cox, they're one of the largest cable providers in the U.S. They're not quite up like we're there with Comcast and Verizon, AT&T, but they're big. They're big. So, sure. Randall, I guess it's your fault that we all have the second screen phenomenon or third screen phenomenon because you're enabling that. So thanks for my screen addiction there. You said you have a couple of more deals that you're going to announce. When will you announce those deals?
Yeah, so certainly this quarter, they're executed, they're approved. So at this point, everything that we do is in concert with our partners. So they all have their own go-to-market strategy, their own branding initiatives. And that's where I think you asked a very astute question, what are people missing? These large, multi-billion-dollar companies do not do partnerships lightly. They don't spend so much time actually integrating someone else's technology into their solution lightly. We were at HIMSS with Cox last week. And so, putting your brand next to somebody else's brand, especially a small company, headquartered in Austin that a lot of people don't know about, that's you don't take that lightly. And so all these deals are executed. We've been working on them for a long time. Some of them we already have customer deployments going out or that we're supporting. And so these next two are executed. All we're doing is lining out the press releases and lining out the go-to-market strategy. So I would say imminent.
Okay. Guys, Randall Crowder is the CEO of Phunware, tickers PHUN. I mean this sincerely, dude. Get some medical attention. Okay. Get some. Oh my God. How is he even able to raise his arm?
I got to lean into it.
Get some medical attention for real. It's Friday.
What I do for our shareholders. Listen, you can't stop me. Me and Alan, a couple ex-Army Rangers, we're gonna make this thing happen. We're gonna make people proud. You follow people more than ticker symbols or companies, and watch what we do, and we're probably the two dumbest people in the company. Our company is filled with some incredibly smart, incredibly talented people, and we're gonna make it happen.
All right. Thanks for your service, and get some help.
Thanks a lot, Smith. You have a good one.